Trigger warning, if anybody buys or sells comic books on the internet and ships them, you may be upset by this video today. Hello, comic book community. Longbox Love Affair here with another video. I'm not doing a haul video this time. I am telling a story about what happened to me during a recent sale that I made on eBay. So I sold my Invincible #1. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I had it out there on eBay. I had a price in mind. I had a lot of offers out there for Invincible #1. It's a 9.6, but a lot of them were lowballs. People saying, I'll give you 1,000 lower than GPA, what it's worth. You know, giving me $500, $1,000 for it. I was like, heck no, that is not what that book is worth. This book has so much sentimental value that I will not let it go for just any price. And Invincible Series 2 is coming up in the fall, so I knew that this book would go up in value. But I've had it posted, and I said, all right, now is the time to sell. So if I get the right person to buy it, we'll make it happen. Long story short, 2 weeks ago it sold. Point blank sold. And full disclosure, I sold it for $16.99, which is a really decent price in this market. It was going higher before, but for now, it was a decent price. And I was like, okay, I will use that money to leverage a better key, a Silver Age key that I am more focusing my collection on. I've purged a lot of my Invincible collection. This one is one of the last to go. So I was sending this from the East Coast to the West Coast, and not just the West Coast, but to Alaska. So of course I'm like, this has to go across country. This big dollar book has to go across all these states to get there. I double boxed the book. I wrapped it really nicely and shipped it out. Double box, the book gets delivered, and that night I get a message on eBay from that buyer. And 9 times out of 10 when that happens, you go, oh crap, because that buyer has something wrong with the book. It doesn't happen often, thankfully, knocking on wood. But, you know, sometimes things might be damaged. There are horror stories out there. So I read the message, and the buyer says, USPS destroyed the book, and my heart sinks. I was like, what happened? Can you send me pictures of the book? Can you send me pictures of the box? Because the person didn't send those to me right away. I had to ask. So immediately the pictures got sent. So before you jump to conclusions, this is the book I sent. It is in the slab. It is the same serial number. And actually the slab itself is not damaged. I'm going to show you this book. It got returned to me. Long story short, I accepted the return, obviously. It makes no sense to stand on ceremony as a seller. If the buyer is not happy, they have recourse, and you might as well accept the return. Within reason, obviously. If they did something to it, you know, hopefully they didn't. The boxes that I sent this in were fine. The box was not shredded. The thing that happened was the inner well of this book. So somehow, this slab dislodged something. This book inside the inner well now has that, which is not quite a tear, but like a bunching up. Like if you took your fingers on the front of the cover and pushed down on the cover, that's what happened there, it looks like. And the worst part, well, that's probably the worst. This can be pressed out. This, you can see the waves right there. This became wavy. Somehow, the tip of the book warped. It is inside that inner well. That inner well is not disturbed. This slab is not disturbed. It is a little crooked now. What I think happened is that somehow, maybe a combination of heat, but also maybe a combination of postal worker negligence, this book got slammed down in the box. It was wrapped and everything. Like I said, this slab is a nice slab. This is the original slab. I have not reslabbed this. This is what it is. It will not get a 9.8. when I redo this. I'm pretty confident about that. It's mostly because of this defect here. So yeah, I have no idea how the inner well, which apparently is not indestructible or airtight, I have no idea how this dislodged so severely, because that has never happened to me. Talking to a couple of their seller friends of mine, they have had situations like this happen. I just wish this happened on a $100 book, not a $1,700 book. So that is very unfortunate. But Invincible is back in my collection. Actually, when I got this book back, the buyer sent it back pretty quickly, obviously refunded him. And I just said, it doesn't look as bad as you made it out to be. Obviously, as a buyer, you want the book that you ordered. I get it. I think he panicked a little bit, but still, if I was him, I'd probably return it too, or ask for a heavy discount. He didn't ask for a discount. I just offered the return. And he accepted that, and we've gone on our way. But for some reason, this is dislodged. It's crooked, slightly, and it is what it is. I'm not confident that UPS or USPS will do anything insurance-wise, because the boxes were not damaged. How do you prove that? How do you prove that this book is the one I put in the box undamaged and it came back damaged, especially if the box didn't get disturbed, if they didn't document it? I'm highly suspect that will be in my favor. I will be reaching out to CGC to ask them about this. This slab is about a 6-year-old slab, 5-6-year-old slab. I've had this slab for a long time. It's not in the past couple of years, so I don't know if it's a defect in the slab. Everything I've heard recently is people are saying that the current slabs aren't as sturdy. So I don't know if this was more of the sturdy slab. Why did this happen? It's just so odd. It's so odd that is what happened, that it just bunched up here and here. So that is my sad, triggering story. I thought it would make an okay video to film and just put it out there. The trials and tribulations of collecting and leveraging your collection to buy more. Also, I am out $1,700, or less than that because of eBay fees and such. It was roughly $1,400. They do take a good cut. There's really not a whole lot of money I'm out on this specific book. I'll be completely honest. I bought issue 1 through 100 back in the day, 7 years ago or so, for about $500 on eBay. And so this came to about a $5 book for me. And I have since leveraged the rest of the collection and made my money back and then some. So this book was a nice investment. It's unfortunate that it is no longer worth what the current market says it's worth, because it is no longer a 9.6. But let's see. With a press, a little fixing up, it will make the book more presentable, better condition once we get that waviness out of the back. Maybe it'll come back a 9. Maybe. I don't know. This up here is not too crazy, but this is probably what will be dinged the most once it's repressed, is my guess. My guess there. So it was a little bit to untangle, figuring out what happened to this book. A little panic. It ruined my night. It kind of ruined my week. I needed a lot of drinks last week. And then this came home to me this past week, this current week. And trying to mitigate the damage and the disappointment. So obviously the buyer had disappointment too, and I feel for him, but he got his money back. So there's that. So hopefully he finds another one that he can enjoy. But Invincible 9.6 is out. So let me know if you've had any other horror stories like this. One other horror story I'll say before signing off is, it was a cheap book, but I sent, I don't know, some Silver Surfer books, modern age, to a buyer a couple years ago, and he wrote me and said, "I don't think you sent me a leopard print blouse." And I was like, no, most definitely not. And so what he received was a package repackaged by UPS, US Postal Service, I mean, and something had gotten caught in the system and shredded the box. And so a bunch of boxes must have got shredded, and they just tried to put things back where they thought. And so they just threw my label on a dress and sent it to this guy. So I was like, no, I'm sorry, I can't fix that. I'm gonna give you your money back. Luckily, it was like a $10 order, so I wasn't out too much. And there's nothing you can do. I mean, you don't have insurance on a $10 order. There's no recourse there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Actually, I don't hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you can at least feel for me here. And yeah, I'm gearing up for Baltimore Comic Con, so I'm looking forward to having QWERTY Comics come and visit. We're going to go tear up Baltimore, see what we find. I haven't been in a huge hunting mood, so we'll see what I can motivate to hunt well at the 3-day con, and then figure out what artists I might want to engage with. So thanks for watching. Yeah, here we go. We'll see what happens with this. I'll keep you posted, most likely through Instagram, so make sure you follow me there. And then I'm gearing up to think about some Whatnot sales in September. So that is my agenda. So thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye-bye.